Welcome back to Leeds Lately. Leeds have just won 2-0 at Elland Road against Hull City in a game where Leeds, very professional display, got the job done, got two nice goals, and we go into the international break now on the back of a win. And I think we're up to 4th, actually, in the league. Before we get into it, though, make sure you hit that big red button down below. We're trying to hit 10k as quick as possible, and I really appreciate every single subscription, and I will keep trying to do daily videos for you. So let's talk about the game then. It was one of those games where you kind of at some points in it thought, is this ever going to happen? Are we ever going to score a goal? Especially because the sheer amount of corners that we had in the game was ridiculous. We had so many opportunities that were half opportunities. We had so many chances where we didn't necessarily create the best XG goal, if you get what I mean. A lot of the shots were blocked. They were very good at getting players back in the box and closing it down. And in fact, our second goal was the only time really where we got kind of through on goal against them, and it was a very good finish. But we'll talk about Hull City just for a second. I thought they were decent, half decent. They'll probably be mid-table to low playoffs. They weren't fantastic, but they were half decent. And they pressed us quite high at times, tried to force us to go long a little bit and not play out from the back, but I thought they were quite good in terms of their ability to come high up. I thought their danger man again for Liam Miller, but not again for Hull City, was Liam Miller. Because the way he played for Preston last season against us and really gave Archie Gray the runaround. I thought Bogle dealt with him a lot better and stopped his crosses coming into the box, but there were a few moments where it was a little bit shaky because he was able to cut inside and try and shoot on goal, that curling finish that he likes to do. So we did manage to stop that. We did manage to stop him doing that. There was a few worrying moments at the back as well. I thought when they've tried to play long balls over to their striker, their number 9, Bedia, he was able to win the ball off Rodon and Strauch a good few times there, and they weren't able to really deal with him. He had one good shot on goal, but other than that, he struggled a little bit to get his chances. But I did think we looked weak in the air at the back versus him. Other than that, though, Hull City were half decent. You had Coyle and Omer down the right-hand side. Coyle, as annoying as he is, he's actually quite decent. I thought he had quite a good game. But let's talk about Leeds. That's what you all want to know about. Leeds played well then. Of course, some of you won't have been able to watch the game because of the 3 p.m. blackout. And of course, I didn't too. I watched it on the radio. And I thought the game was... We didn't start fantastically well, but it wasn't a bad start either. It was a very average first half. Like I said, that was the time when we were creating a few chances, but not really managing to put anything away. In terms of players in the half, I thought everybody was just okay. Nobody was fantastic. I thought Nonto was trying to do something. Mateo Joseph was trying to do something. And Aronson as well maybe was trying to contribute a little bit, but there was a lot of passes going astray, a lot of little flicks and tricks that weren't quite working, weren't quite coming off for Leeds. And we went into half-time and I said to the chat in the stream, I said, look, I think we need to be better in the second half. I really do think we need to improve because at the moment we don't look great. We don't look like we've particularly taken this game by the scruff of the neck and we're going to win it. So when we came out in the second half, I thought we were much improved. I didn't think we were like the best team in the world, but I think we did enough. And the goal came from a ball down the left-hand side, a good little move, a ball from Strauch, down the line to Firpo, who played it into Solomon, who crossed it into the near post, and Mateo Joseph did that near post run, which he loves to do, got across in front of the defender and in front of the goalkeeper and was able to just get a flick on it and direct it into the back of the net. So good finish from Mateo Joseph, really good for his confidence as well, because he had a really good game against Sheffield Wednesday, but he didn't get on the score sheet, and that will have been eating away at him. I know from what I've read, what I've watched and what I've heard from strikers, they say if they had a chance and they didn't quite take it, they can't sleep that night and they're waiting for that next one to try and put it in the back of the net. So Mateo Joseph has finally got his goal that he can kind of calm down a little bit now, and hopefully that is the first of many this season. I would imagine it will be. I think he had another really good game, to be honest, Mateo Joseph. So in the end, yeah, Leeds then were able to create a second goal. That one, again, came down the left-hand side. Ball played into Firpo by Aronson, I think it was. And then Firpo played one of those lovely sweeped curled balls along the ground in front of our strikers. You had Ramazani and Joel Peru who were running onto it. The ball curled round, went to the far side, which is where Peru was. He just slotted it under the goalkeeper. That's the thing you can rely on for Joel Peru, is his finishing. He's always got a really good finish in him. And he slotted it under the goalkeeper to make it 2-0, and the game was pretty much ours from then on. But in general, I thought Leeds were... Look, a lot of the time we moan that we don't create enough chances against a team like Hull City, but I think Leeds kind of played that one perfectly. We tried to create chances in the first half. We weren't quite able to, but we just kept at it and kept at it and kept at it. And eventually, when one did break for us, we managed to score from it. And what happened then was that Hull City obviously get dragged out of their defensive shape. They try to get up the pitch and they try to equalise, and that's when you're able to go down the other end and score. And that's what kind of came to fruition in the end, and Leeds managed to win the game. In terms of new signings, we saw Solomon from the start, then we saw Ramazani and Tanaka also got substitute appearances. Solomon was decent without being great. I think he obviously got his assist for Mateo Joseph goal, but other than that, there was a few things that he tried to do, a few things that didn't quite come off. I think he needs time to get used to the league because he took a few hits where he was getting up going, well, hold on a second, that's a free kick, but wasn't given them. So he needs a little bit of time. And from what I saw of Ramazani, if Dan James is injured, I think I would be starting Ramazani over Solomon, because I think Ramazani was a lot more dynamic, a lot more willing to kind of carry the ball forward, a lot more positive as well. I think he was able to go forward without really thinking about even going backwards, and I think he nearly created a chance for himself like the moment he came on. So I'm really impressed by Ramazani, the way he carried the ball, the way he carried himself. He is, and I understand why they have identified him, because in terms of his stature, his build, his way he carries the ball, he is quite like Somerville, maybe a little bit better of a ball carrier than Somerville, and maybe less of a finisher. But in terms of general build of player and design of player, you kind of go in, he's the same vibes as Somerville in terms of his the way he plays football. So I think, Ramazani is going to be a big one for us this season. I think he's going to be great. And to be honest as well, I do prefer to start permanent players over loan signings anyway. So even just for the sake of that, I would have Ramazani in the starting 11 if Dan James is unfit. Tanaka, like I said, also came on. I think Tanaka, he only got like 8 to 10 minutes-ish. So he didn't have a massive time to impact the game. But what he did do was tidy, was neat, was able to get the ball. And to be honest, I think what I did see from Tanaka was glimpses of his want and his desire to go forward with the ball, whether that be with his passes or his carrying the ball. Because a lot of the time you see Ampadu and Gruev, they look up and they don't really have much on. There's maybe a little bit of a risky pass that they could play, but they end up turning around and going backwards. But I think Tanaka was the type of player who he looked up and he goes, okay, there's two midfielders there, but they're far enough apart where I can squeeze a pass through them, and that might allow us to go forward a little bit. So a little bit more of like a positive thinking mindset from Tanaka was what I picked out about his game today, so I enjoyed that. Of course, Isaac Schmidt didn't sign in time to be in the squad, and obviously he'd only played the night before last anyway, so that's why he wasn't there as well. So hopefully we see him after the international break. Of course, the videos won't be going anywhere. I will be still making videos throughout this international break. So make sure you stay subscribed to the channel so you don't miss an upload, and hit that notification bell as well. As for this game, let me know what you thought of the game if you saw it down in the comments below. Thanks for watching Leeds Lately, and I'll see you in the next one.